Hello friends, welcome back. I'm Philip Magnus and today I'm doing comic books. Wait, comic books? Don't I do game videos and book videos? Why would I be doing comic books on the same channel? Because I cannot possibly care about anything any algorithm wants or does not want me to do. So, without further ado, here is my review of X-Men Volume 1 from 2019 by Jonathan Hickman. The flagship title of the X-Men has dropped any pithy adjective, no more uncanny for our mutant protagonists as they move away from protecting a world that fears them. That's a decidedly secondary objective now. With Jonathan Hickman's relaunch of the series, everything has changed. This first volume of Hickman's X-Men has loosely cast its very own Slim in the role of protagonist. That's Cyclops, for those of you who are unproficient in X-lingo. Scott Summers has been endlessly fascinating to me since he became the de facto leader of the X-Men after Charles Xavier's disappearance, as long ago as the 2004's House of M Marvel event. So much has transpired since then. Now, Scott is back to being the field leader of the X-Men, acting as Krakow's Captain Commander. This is Scott Summers as I haven't seen him in a long time, unburdened by the mistakes of the past and the pressure of all mutant kind's destiny. He's got his family back together, and for the first time in a long while, it seems like genuine hope is in the air. It won't last. It never does. But while this is the case, we might as well enjoy it, right? Incidentally, that is also Scott's mindset. One of the issues shows Scott going on an adventure with his kids. Seeing him interact in such a carefree way with Rachel and Cable is a joy. Plenty of time-traveling shenanigans have kept them from doing that the way a normal family should. The trio meet a summoner, and make quick friends with him. Every single one of the X-Men is now bound to the island of Krakoa. Every single member of mutant kind, more or less. And though I'm uncertain as to the role this summoner will be playing in the events that will be coming to the shores of Krakoa, I genuinely like his design and character. Leave it to Hickman to come up with delightful weirdness. And the fact that he is connected with everyone's favourite ex-genocidal maniac, Apocalypse, no, not Magneto, doesn't hurt my curiosity any either. From the get-go, Cyclops has great chemistry with just about everyone he shares a panel with, whether that's Magneto, Polaris, Storm, Wolverine, Jean, or anyone else. A scene stealer for me is his and Emma Frost's venture into a savage land. The most hilarious moments of this entire volume are all to be found in this third issue, between him, Emma Frost, Sebastian Shaw, and some old ladies who will be apparently new villains. This patent Shaw moment, for example, is just build-up to the greatest Emma Frost takedown in history. Absolutely brutal. Panels like the following remind me of why I continue to ship him and Emma as hard as I do. Now, care to bet how Shaw's villainous monologue ends? Either way, I'm not wholly sold on this horticulture, these villains. But if the interactions keep to this level of quality, comedic relief at the very least, I am game to see where all of this heads. I also have a serious number of questions. For example, based on this house, if you look at numbers 10, 12 and 11, These are Cyclops' room, Wolverine's and Jean's rooms, respectively. And Jean's room is connected to both Wolverine and Cyclops', unlike any other room in the Bloody Summer's house, or rather, Summer House. Is Jean in a polyamorous relationship with Logan and Scott right now? I mean, just look at the plan. Am I reading too much into it? I'm probably reading too much into it, but it does make you wonder. Both of them seem very, very happy. I mean, both Cyclops and Wolverine, and they seem to be in a great relationship with Jean, so... well, moving on. As I'm what the kids would call a Magneto stan, I can't walk away from this review without saying that he steals the show whenever he appears, in this volume as in the next. The fourth issue in this collected volume is stunning in that it sees three of Krakoa's leaders, Magneto, Charles Xavier and Apocalypse, visit the International Economic Forum in Davos. Every page of that issue is pure gold to me, but Magneto's speech towards the gathered dignitaries of some of the world's most powerful nations had me at the edge of my seat. Just after, Xavier also has perhaps the most powerful scene he's had in Hickman's writing so far. He takes off his Cerebro helmet and explains what has changed and what hasn't in his vision of and for the world, in his relationship with humanity, in the very nature of who he has become. I've always thought the most fascinating ideological moments in the X-books are created when these two characters share panels, and this issue is excellent proof of that hypothesis. And if you think this talking might be too much for your violence-loving ways, let me assure you, there is plenty of limb-chopping action, courtesy of another of the X-Men's captains, Gorgon, that proves what a badass Krakoa's leaders have gotten as a bodyguard. The 5th issue seems like something big that Hickman will revisit in the future. There's lots of build-up, a lot of it beyond engaging for me. I haven't got much to say beyond that. My curiosity has been well and truly piqued. The art of this one is, incidentally, my favourite, as it is done by R.B. Silver, rather than Laniel Francis Yu, who does issues 1 through 4. I don't like Yu's interior art too much, though I fully realise his talent, and some of the covers he has done in the past are well and truly gorgeous. It's personal preference, and much of the art is objectively awesome. I also think that when he does his own inking, like in issues 3 and 4, there's a marked improvement over Gary Allen Gillen's inks, but I'm nowhere near proficient or knowledgeable enough with art to be able to give you more than that. The 6th issue shows Xavier and Magneto's dealings with Mystique and a secret mission she had during the X-Men's attack on the Master Mold in Solar Orbit. This took place in House of X/Powers of X. Now, if you're not very familiar with the X-Men or with Marvel, a lot of what I've just said might sound like the nonsense of critters, but I assure you, it makes marginally more sense if you have actually read the series. I have a very strong disdain for Mystique. She is not at all like in the movies. She's much more treacherous and, in my opinion at least, far less charming. As she has betrayed the X-Men in the comic books countless times. And if there's one thing I got away from this issue, the 6th in the volume, it is that she might do so again. What her game is, that I cannot begin to imagine, and it's going to take a little while to figure out. Obviously, she wants to have her dead wife resurrected. She wants to have her back. She's also sitting on the Quiet Council, which is the ruling body of the X-Men, But what the hell is this foreshadowing that she might just go and ruin everything for everyone? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Jonathan Hickman leaves the X-Men line of comic books in 2021. Rather, he left it with one final X event, Inferno. And I know that Inferno, in fact, is the one that deals with just this very topic, Mystique's mission and her relationship with the dead wife, Destiny, who, by the way, is a mutant who can see the future, so very tricky things going on there. She was a big part of the fabula that Jonathan Hickman created in House of X / Powers of X, which I will eventually probably sit down and talk about. I'm not particularly ready yet. At this point, I'm just trying to figure out a way in which to at once talk about all these books and also not just do summary after summary. At this point, with these videos, very early on in the X-Men video process, obviously, but what I would like to do is I would really like to figure out a way to talk about these issues for the occasional viewer who might have read them, which with my numbers is unlikely, but it might happen. Maybe an also friend of mine who enjoys the X-Men books will see these. Who knows? So part of that is to talk about the books to people who have read the books, and also to talk about the books to people who haven't. And I'm not sure how to ease those people into the X-Men universe, because there is so much lore there. There's just so much going on. It can get overwhelming and confusing, and if you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. Just shoot any ideas my way and I will try and reflect those in my latter reviews. For now, I have reviews on Cable Volume 1, on Marauders Volume 1, 2, X-Men Volume 2, and I've got actually X-Men Volume 3 here waiting to be read with another gorgeous cover by Francis Yu. Who knows what the hell is going to happen here? It looks amazing. I have not read X-Men books since probably 2016, 2017, when I started the latest relaunch. Disliked it very badly. It didn't feel like X-Men books. These, Hickman's relaunch, and all the books by Duggan, by Percy, and by many others, they are really good. They are genuinely books whose characters feel like the X-Men that I have grown to love throughout my childhood. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about a lot of those in the future. Hopefully. Or I'll just be posting some of these on my blog. But yeah, if you'd like to see this video review in a non-video review format, head to my blog. The link is down below. You can read it there without having to experience this face, which for some would be a bonus, for some would be a negative. Well, with that in mind, to me, my X-Men, bye!